Good morning, America. I just want to talk about a corrupt government, the Trump, Biden, and Clinton deal. I'm an independent, so I'm directly in the middle. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, or independent. What's going on in the judicial system is not fair. And if you don't have enough common sense to understand that, then there is going to be a higher court for all of us one day, and that's God. Okay, and God's going to end up looking at us when we're there and see if we treated everybody fairly on earth. And we are judged on Judgment Day. For this to understand, if Trump goes to jail, Clinton should go to jail, Biden should go to jail. If that's the case, if they all go to jail, I have no problem with that. If the case is that what they were doing is the truth and corruption, and if the Bidens were taking money from China and Ukraine. Okay, a lot of this is about on an individual person, if you like them or not, and that's wrong. That should not influence your judgment on a person just because you don't like them. When it comes down to the judicial system, and it should be a fairness across the board. And all I have to say is our forefathers right now are rolling around in their graves thinking of the Declaration of Independence that we have signed, and our Second Amendment, and a lot of our constitutional rights are being tested at the moment, because if it keeps on continuing, if one side can control the other side, we might be a communist country. This is not just for the government. This is for everybody, whether you're Republican, Independent, or Democrat. We need to pull together and stop this. I mean, if we all, in God we trust and believe in God, and the media outlets are part of this. One will put on certain things on Trump, and the other one will put in Clinton, and then they'll add to the stories, and some of it's not true. And so a lot of that's about their agenda and making money. All this is about is power. But I do want to say one thing about all this. The government better be careful, because this could wake a sleeping giant, and that's the American people. And I'm hoping that they treat this all fairly across the board. And I think that's what all people want, because this could start a revolutionary war or civil rights war that you would never believe. That hasn't happened since the 1700s and the 1800s. So, government, you're treading on water. We, the people, you should be respecting the people. Just because we put you in office doesn't mean that you go power, that you can do anything that you want to do. Doesn't matter what party you are. And it's for Democrats and Republicans. You guys need to learn to work together. I mean, it's like you're a foreign country and we're fighting one another. We should stop that. We got so much worry here with inflation, and our 401ks are being burnt here the last year and a half. Seems that you just don't even care what we are going through at the moment. All you Democrats and Republicans care about is how we can use our power to affect election outcome. I dare you. How in the heck can you even think of this at a time when we are in trouble with people surviving, homeless people, and the list goes on. You got illegals coming in across the United States. It's a shame that we put these people in office, And it seems like they don't want to do their job. They'll do other things to spending government money on things just to prove their point against a Republican or Democrat that they have more power. And like I said, they're on a power trip, and we, the people, need to pull together before we lose a lot of our rights, because it's starting to happen right now. And I'm 61 years old. And let me tell you, and I'm going to tell you again, they will wake a sleeping giant if they're not treated fairly across the board. That's all we expect. If they're guilty, then they're all guilty. If they're, and we know there's facts about, Trump supposedly, and Biden and Clinton. And there's several others that got off the hook. If it would be one of us, citizens of the United States, we'd be sitting our asses in jail, and you all know it, you government officials. So stop the crap and care about the American people. To run for president of the United States or any Senate, you have to have tons of money to even get in there to be able to make a difference. Only if I had tons of money. I can tell you one thing right now. I can't be bought. This government needs cleaned house because there's so much corruption between the FBI and everything. Only if in a lifetime, if I could earn enough money to get my chance at my running, I will prove to the American people how this country should be treated as number one and fair across the board. And the Supreme Court should be protecting our amendment rights and not let this power struggle between the Republicans and Democrats. The media should be disgraced on their agenda, just trying their ratings to make money. And as we are to blame too. We watch a certain channel and we assume that what they say is correct when we don't know all the facts of what the other channel's saying. So we are smart enough to understand what's going on here. So it's time for all of us to stand up and say we've had enough. If so, that this is not being treated fairly, and Trump goes to jail, and Biden gets off, I think it's time for us tons of us, to march down peacefully down to the Capitol and let known that we are tired and we are done with it, that we will vote every one of them out, and maybe it's time to start voting independents in. Is have a warning sign to both parties. One is just as bad as the other, and it's time to wake the hell up and work for the American people instead of this power. That's all I have to say. I love the United States of America and our veterans that have served in the country. This is what made this country strong today, and we just got to be worried about other countries, because if we don't get our act together, we got problems, big problems. All right. I love you all. Take care. Bye.